The drama surrounding Gypsy-Rose Blanchard and her upcoming baby just took a wild turn. Recently, rumors started swirling that Gypsy's child would be taken away from her right after birth due to her past criminal history and current parole status. But now, Gypsy herself is stepping up to set the record straight and debunk the claims. In a TikTok comment that's quickly gone viral, Gypsy publicly addressed the allegations and shot them down with a response that's making waves. "I confirmed with my attorney that this is not accurate. They cannot take my child away without cause, even as a felon."
Now, because some of you guys are thinking, how do we know this is the real Gypsy-Rose? Well, guess what? I clicked on the page. Gypsy-Rose, this is her Cajun Heart of Mine. This was her account is private, but I went on there and I double checked. But of course, let me know what you guys think in the comments.
So what's all the fuss about? It all started when Katie Joy, a controversial content creator, made some bold claims about Gypsy's situation. Katie posted about a conversation with two women, one from the re-entry field working with inmates in Texas and Louisiana, and the other with direct experience working with Louisiana's Department of Child Services, DCS. According to Katie, both women warned that Gypsy could be in serious trouble when her baby is born. Katie's sources allegedly stated that DCS is extremely strict when it comes to parolees who have committed violent crimes, especially those involving family members. Gypsy, of course, fits that profile, having been convicted of homicide against her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard. As a result, DCS might show up at the hospital right after Gypsy gives birth to assess the baby's safety. On top of that, her doctor, as a mandated reporter, would also be required to notify authorities about the situation due to Gypsy's past crime. The experts that Katie spoke with reportedly said that people with convictions like Gypsy's, particularly homicide against a family member, are often considered unfit to raise children, and the court system typically leans toward automatic termination of parental rights in such cases. The sources also suggested that Gypsy and her fiancé Ken would likely be subjected to a full psychological evaluation, which, given Gypsy's past, would hurt her chances of keeping her baby. Now, as you can imagine, this news caused a stir in the online community, but Gypsy, ever the fighter, was quick to shut it all down. She responded to the gossip with her statement about how this isn't accurate, and even pointed the finger at Katie Joy, calling her out for spreading false information. But here's the kicker. Despite Gypsy's denial, Katie isn't backing down. In fact, she doubled down on her claims, insisting that she stands by her sources and their information. According to Katie, Christy, her stepmother, herself even confirmed to her that DCS would indeed be involved when the baby arrives. Katie made it clear that she's confident in her sources and she's not afraid to speak up about it. Now, here's the thing. Gypsy has gotten away with a lot over the years. Between parole violations and questionable decisions, many are wondering if she's really in danger of losing her baby, or if this is just another attempted smear campaign. Honestly, with Gypsy's history of bending the rules, some are even speculating that she might actually get away with it again. People have pointed out that Gypsy has managed to avoid serious consequences in the past, like when she was caught violating parole on multiple occasions. So, could it be that CPS and authorities will just turn a blind eye this time too? But the drama doesn't stop there. While Gypsy is busy defending herself and calling out Katie Joy, another story is making waves that's stirring up even more CPS drama. It's about a woman known as Nurse Hannah, or as the internet has dubbed her, the 17 Diapers Mom. It's not just Gypsy who's raising eyebrows. Christy, the self-proclaimed new mom to Gypsy, is under fire for her role in all of this. You may recall that Christy helped Gypsy apply for free housing through Habitat for Humanity, pretending to be a single mother with no income to take advantage of the charity. Now, she's reportedly helping Gypsy with another major favor by navigating her way around the legal hurdles that could keep her from keeping her child. Could this be another manipulative scheme orchestrated by the Blanchard family to avoid consequences? Or is Christy truly just trying to help? Some are wondering if Gypsy may be manipulating Christy into assisting her, knowing full well that she can't keep the baby in her own home without violating parole. Could Christy be the one who's driving the illegal housing and CPS evasion plans? Or is Gypsy pulling the strings as usual? There's a chance that Gypsy is using Christy to do the dirty work, knowing that she'll face less scrutiny than if she took matters into her own hands. And as much as Christy might say she's helping Gypsy out of love, many believe she's just perpetuating the same toxic cycle that Gypsy's mother Dee Dee started years ago. Nurse Hannah recently went viral for sharing a TikTok video in which she revealed how her house was littered with 17 diapers. But what really caught people's attention was a video showing her young son flinching when her husband approached him. This sparked major concerns that the child may be in danger. TikTok users immediately started to speculate that the couple might be abusing their son, especially since Nurse Hannah has made several questionable posts online, including refusing to buy a heater for her son's room despite claiming to be financially well off. As if this wasn't enough to keep our heads spinning, another story has surfaced that's drawing attention to CPS yet again. Nurse Hannah, a woman known for her viral videos and her 17 diapers moment, has recently come under fire for what some viewers are calling abusive behavior toward her child. After posting a video where her son flinches when approached by her husband, viewers were quick to speculate that the child might be in danger. This led to widespread concerns about potential neglect or abuse. Nurse Hannah has reportedly launched an investigation, with many hoping that the child is safe and that authorities will take action if necessary.
Good morning. So I heard through a little birdie some information about the Nurse Hannah case, so I wanted to just update you guys, and of course if you have updates and information, you let me know as well. According to this little birdie, and now I'm just bringing secondhand information, so this is just what I was told. This little birdie was contacted by a few people on this app because this person used to work for children and families in that department doing investigations. So the people from this app that reached out to her were like, what do we do, blah, blah, blah. And she walked them through the process. And according to this little birdie, there were an abundance of reports made against Nurse Hannah and her husband. So there will be an investigation. There is an open investigation. One of the people who reported, one out of many hundreds, I'm told, was talking to Children and Family Services for 3 hours because this person had an abundance of evidence over a period of time. And from what I'm told, the department is taking this seriously. They're looking at every single bit of evidence that was submitted. They're looking at every angle. They've contacted her job, I'm told, interviewed or spoke to or will be to coworkers, and somehow this person knew that a couple of the coworkers did not give her a very good whatever. They said that she's this and that and the other thing. So I don't know exactly if they've been to her house or when they're going, but there is an open investigation. And of course, if you guys get any new information, keep me updated. My hopes and prayers are that if you've noticed her latest videos, she's being much nicer to the baby. And she's not connected to him. I don't know if that's from PPD or she's just not connected, but in her latest video, she is being nicer to him. And that was my hopes and prayers, is that until something is done, that with all this heat on her, at least they would back off the baby. And it looks like that's, at least on camera, that's what they're doing. But I hope that it's, behind the scenes too, because that little boy just deserves. I just want to give him a hug. Every time I see him on a video now, I just want to hug him. He looks so distant sometimes, and I just want to hug that little boy. But you guys, thank you to everyone who took this seriously and reached out to help this little boy, because again, if we're wrong, nobody gets hurt. You know what I mean? She'll recover from this. But if we don't say anything and we're right, that's a lifetime of suffering for somebody. So we need to speak up when we get that mother's intuition. And I think this is just one of those situations where it was necessary. It was necessary. Now, does that mean that we should be doing this to every little thing wrong we see on this app? No. This is the first time I've ever gotten involved on this app, and it's because there's something. But no, that doesn't mean I think that we need to be getting involved in everyone's life. I just think when we think something's that off and it's a child's safety.
Nurse Hannah's situation isn't directly tied to gypsies, but it's another reminder that CPS is under the microscope in high-profile cases involving parents with questionable histories. The situation got so bad that it's now being reported that CPS is investigating the family. And according to sources, when concerned individuals called CPS, they were told that the case is already being looked into. Fans of Nurse Hannah are hoping that the authorities will take action and ensure that her child is safe.
Here's an update regarding Nurse Hannah. A lot of people reported her to Child Protective Services. A lot of people also submitted all of the videos as evidence before she deleted them. And as someone who used to be an investigator for Child Protective Services, I'll tell you what happens next. So we're probably not gonna know anything about what happens next. And this is because Nurse Hannah is entitled to privacy. Just how if Child Protective Services was to knock on your door right now, no one is entitled to know about your case other than you and maybe if you tell somebody. But unless Nurse Hannah comes out, those are my kids in the background, I'm sorry. Unless Nurse Hannah comes out and tells us directly like, hey, this happened, we're never gonna know. Child Protective Services is not gonna come out and say, hey, this is what we did, because privacy. I know a lot of people do not trust the system and your feelings are valid. The system does fail a lot of children, but the system also does do a lot of good. I saw both sides of the coin while I was there. Like I said, I'm just keeping it real with you guys. I do not see James being removed, and that's because in order to remove a child, the child has to be in imminent danger. Child Protective Services has their own definition of what that is. More than likely what's gonna happen is an investigator is gonna go to her house, do a home assessment. They're also going to assess the child and the family as a unit. And they're going to make a determination based on what they see. But I do not foresee this being a removal, okay? Unfortunately, Child Protective Services needs a lot more than this to remove a child, and more than likely they're going to talk to Hannah and the husband, address all of these concerns, tell them to change their behavior, to no longer post that kind of content. And I'm going to go ahead and assume that somebody, an investigator, already went out to the house and talked to Hannah, because as you guys can see on both of her pages, she has two pages, one with like 270,000 followers and another one with like 100,000 followers, and she stopped posting content where she's doing the concerning thing she was doing with James, her 2-year-old child. She stopped posting those kind of videos. She's cleaned up her page. She's now doing more content based on her. She's not showing her children as much. That's because CPS already made contact with her. When I had cases like this, and it was like social media related and I had to go out, like the parents will automatically like stop posting. My hope is that this entire situation is a wake-up call for Hannah and her husband to change their toxic behaviors towards their children. Also, if Child Protective Services determines that these people need parenting classes or resources, they're going to refer them to that. It is not in the best interest of Nurse Hannah to continue to get reports from CPS, to continue to be investigated by CPS, because she can lose her nursing license. So like I said, I'm hoping this is a wake-up call. I'm hoping she's going to see how all of these toxic behaviors affect not only her child, but also her license, her livelihood, and how having a platform is a privilege that I personally believe she does not deserve to have. But that's just my opinion. For everyone who contacted CPS, you did the right thing. As always, if you suspect that a child is a victim of abuse, neglect, or exploitation, Google Child Protective Services Department near me, call and make a report.
So between Gypsy's child custody drama and Nurse Hannah's troubling situation, CPS seems to be getting more involved in the lives of these controversial figures than we ever expected. But let's get back to Gypsy. What do you think? Is she really at risk of losing her baby? Or is this just another round of tabloid-style drama? Will she get away with it once again? Or is this the one situation where the law catches up with her? And of course, what about Christy? Is she the mastermind behind all these schemes, or is she just another pawn in Gypsy's game? At this point, it seems like Gypsy's life is one big cycle of drama, denial, and manipulation. Whether or not CPS steps in remains to be seen, but one thing is clear: Gypsy knows how to stir the pot and get attention. As the situation continues to unfold, we want to know what you think. Do you believe Gypsy will lose her baby, or will she find a way to keep dodging the law? Is Christy enabling her, or is she just as guilty of pulling off these schemes? And what about CPS? Should they intervene? Or will Gypsy slip through the cracks once again? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. This saga is far from over. Stay tuned for more updates on Gypsy-Rose Blanchard, her baby, and the growing CPS controversy. Like and subscribe for more celebrity gossip and scandalous updates.